First of all, Amerie, warm welcome back to the UK. It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, likewise.
Now, you're back for the third time, third album, and you brought out this banging new single, Take Control. When I first heard it, it was quite a while back now. We've got a radio show as well. First heard it maybe 5-6 months back.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, she's back again. Unmistakable voice, unmistakable sound.
Thank you.
How did you come up with the idea of the record?
Actually, it was produced by myself and also CeeLo Green from North Broccoli, and Mike Karen and Lenny Nicholson. It was like all of our whole little, I guess, project. It was kind of funny because everyone had their own little piece of it, and CeeLo and I co-wrote the song. And it's basically about, being in a relationship and wanting someone else to take the reins, which I think a lot of women can relate to, because being an independent woman, and a lot of women now are very ambitious and very career-oriented, so we're always kind of used to being on the forefront of everything. And I think even though the most independent woman, I think, likes to be able to come home and still relinquish that take charge attitude, so it's kind of about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now going back to obviously your previous two trips, you worked with Rich Harrison on the first album, All I Have, and the second album, Touch, as well. He hasn't done the first single. Have you worked with him on the project at all?
No, actually, we didn't do anything on this album together. At first, we weren't going to, because he was doing a lot of projects, and then I was kind of going in my own direction with the way the album was going to sound. But then we were like, okay, maybe we will do something together. But time actually kind of ran out, and we actually get together, as well as DJ Premier. We were supposed to do something as well, and that was like a really one that a lot of people were looking forward to, including myself. And we were both like, oh man, but we ran out of time, so maybe the next one.
Yeah, because he has got, obviously, because Rich Harrison, when you hear the drums, and you know instantly that it's him. And obviously when we heard this record, we thought, oh, what is it? Because it did sound different. So
yeah,
thinking,
this one was a different one. And there's another track that does have a go-go element to it. It's like a go-go. I call it go-go soul, but it's like a go-go element. And it was actually produced by these guys, new guys from DC as well, called One Up. So a lot of people ask me if that one's a Rich track, but it actually isn't.
Okay. What's that actually called?
Gotta Work.
Okay, yeah, I did actually. I've only just heard a couple of tracks.
Oh, okay.
Heard 3 songs, and that was one of them. So yeah, that's yeah. And I thought, oh, is that Rich Harrison? And then but no, it's a great track. So
thank you.
Is that definitely on the album?
That's definitely on the album. It was actually the last song that I recorded right before we started mixing and mastering the album. It just squeaked by. I didn't think it was going to make it. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, but it just made it. Yeah.
Now, new album. Obviously, we're yet to hear the full album. As I said, I've only heard literally a handful of cuts. It's under lock and key. But from what I've been told, it's sort of like a big mix of a mixture of 70s soul, old school 80s hip hop, and present day R&B. Tell us more about it in terms of who else you have actually worked with.
The only person that's actually guest featuring vocally on the album is CeeLo. I have done some things like with some local French artists that are really big out in France, and Seven from Asia, from Korea. He's really huge in Asia. So a lot of that, I'm always down to work with people from different areas. It's always great to just collaborate. But as far as the actual album, so CeeLo's the only one who did the backing vocals for that. But I worked with like Bink, production-wise. I did a lot of production on there. Brian Michael Cox.
He's great.
He's great.
He's awesome, isn't he? Yeah.
The Buchanans, who actually I worked with on the last album, and actually worked with some new people like One Up, Chris and Drop. I always like to find new people to work with. Keep it all fresh, keep the energy new.
Sure. Well, we can't wait for it. It's called Because I Love It, right?
Yes.
So where did the name of the album come from?
Because I Love It is the title of the album, because I felt like it really encompassed my whole general motivation and where I'm coming from for the project.